let's just dive right into it. So this is me, Matias Huhta, a meetup organizer, sheet poster, talking about Agile Factorio. And I'm sorry in advance. So in this story, we have our team. We have me, Matsu. We have Pons, who is actually in this room right now. We have Topsu, and we have Heikki. So we have 3 awesome developers and 1 Scrum Master / salesperson in our team. For those uninitiated, this is just the only persons who are still active in our Discord group who likes to play games. So this is not an actual company. So for those who don't know what the heck Factorio is, also don't follow the page numbers, they're not correct. So let's introduce Factorio a little bit. This is a sales pitch deck. I'm not a salesperson, so fuck that. So Factorio is a game in which you build and maintain factories. Who would have known? You will be mining resources, researching technologies, building infrastructure, automating production, and fighting enemies. Use your imagination to design your factory, combine simple elements into ingenious structures, apply management skills to keep it working, and protect it from the creatures who don't really like you. And then we want to be introducing software development, which is a profession in which you build and maintain systems, where we will be wasting resources, researching technologies, building infrastructure, failing to automate production, and fighting customers. Don't you fucking dare to use your imagination. Design your software, combine just simple elements as we saw in dance talk, nothing too fancy. Don't combine ingenious structures. Apply management skills to keep yourself working and protect yourself from the project managers who don't really like you. So, software development in the beginning was kind of like just working with circuit boards. So we wanted to move data from a place to another place. This has luckily been abstracted nowadays. But the comparison here is great because in Factorio, you can build circuit boards also. And it kind of looks like the same. And when you look at it in a way, in circuit boards, the lines are meant to like show how data moves from a place to another. And well, when things get crowded, things get difficult because like the difficult thing in designing circuit boards is like designing a good circuit board where the data actually can go through things, because you cannot just like have all of the lines go straight to the actual output of what the input is, because there's other lines on the way. And when you design your Factorio base, it's kind of the same thing. You have your resources in the top left corner, and you want to get into the bottom right corner, and you cannot just melt them through, or that's what we want to believe. You cannot do that, or you can, but then our CTO is gonna come and really fight you on that one. But let's look at the start of our project. This was a couple of weeks ago. Factorio 2.0 released. The space age, we got a few more planets to explore, we got a lot of more tech trees to look at and everything, and morale was strong, everybody was excited, everybody was having fun with the whole setup. Backlog was kind of big, but manageable. This is like any software project really. We have a huge backlog of things, but everybody's like, yeah, let's freaking do this. Just a side note, does everybody know what foreshadowing means? So the first day I went to work, we already have one of our developers complaining that our development pipeline is not in the same version as the development pipelines, development environments. And that means that's a blocker for all of our developers. Our product manager / salesperson is being useful as always, updating avatars, asking for Grafana statistics, not doing anything to help with the actual factory. And this is what our CI/CD looks like. We have one file, update factorio.sh. It does what it says it does, and it works. And as somebody really smart said at some point, if your factory server doesn't have a Jira, are you even trying? And Well, again, the next day, this was the next day of this post, I think, or the day after. And once again, we are already running into production issues once again. And our developers have to actually sleep the whole night, a good night's sleep, and that's not a good thing for any startup project, really. I mean, what the fuck? When do you work? So yeah, this was all fine and dandy in that moment. And then our project manager really asked the important questions. We have a lava planet, we want to explore it, we want to know what's in the lava planet, and he just wants to know how many story points it is. So yeah, Agile Factorio was born. And the strategic vision for those who don't know of Agile is that we want to make software development that's focused on producing working software and less focusing on actually producing documentation. Who here likes producing documentation? Okay, bad audience. The real answer is nobody. So some people do. Some people do. We appreciate those people, but yeah. So yeah, let's just get on with the Agile manifesto. So in Agile, our highest priority is to satisfy the factory through the early and continuous delivery of valuable materials. The second rule of Agile approaches is that we want to be welcoming changing requirements even late into development. We want to see Agile processes harnessing the change for the customer's competitive advantage. Changes like a huge lava worm running through your whole factory. That's really a kind of a comparison of having your production being down when you get your first cup of coffee in the morning, but it shits the bed like 3 times as much because you have to do everything manually now. You don't have to put production up, but imagine if when your production went down, half of your code base went down with it. So that's fun. So we want to be delivering working assembly lines frequently. And like any startup, we want to be producing those by the minute or by the hour, not by the week or by the month, because that's way too slow. So we're actually like upgrading the Agile manifesto here to actually be agile instead of a turtle space. And when we are producing assembly lines in a speed of minutes or hours, they start to look like this. And looking at Dan's code from the previous show, it kind of reminded me of this. It's mostly spaghetti. So, yeah. So business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project, and we did that. So whenever our sales manager wanted to queue up a new research on our server, we promptly said no. That's comparable to just closing the Jira tickets that are assigned to you and saying won't do. Nothing gives me more power than that in my everyday work and in my every night Factorio building. And also communicating with your product managers when they try to come up with a solution, you give them constructive feedback. There was other stuff said after this, but we won't go into that. We want to keep this PG-13, so let's not go into that. Also, we want to be building projects around motivated individuals. We want to give them the environment and the support they need so that they can flourish and get the job done. So as soon as we unlocked 4 planets, we decided that everybody goes on their own planet, so nobody has to work together. Like a real startup. Nobody wants to fucking work together. When you come back from work, all of there's no merge conflicts. There's somebody who has completely moved all of your factory to another location, and they left all of everything hanging there. So you're like, okay, I'll just continue from here, and where's the rocket silo? Where's the assembly I put 3 hours to yesterday? It's gone. So yeah, we decided that the best thing is to put everybody on their own platform, not own platforms, their own planets, because fuck teamwork, I guess. And we left the sales manager on the beginning planet because that was already finished, so they would get a sense of accomplishment by just standing there and not doing anything, like we do. The most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within the development team is face-to-face conversation. Well, we're playing video games, so fuck that. None of that applied to us, so it's like there's always one rule that you kind of have to break, and this is ours. So, working science research is the primary measure of progress. So when your progress tree of your factory looks like this, you want to be progressing through it as fast as possible. It's like it's giving kind of flashbacks of Final Fantasy, old Final Fantasy skill trees or Path of Exile skill trees, but it's building factory. And when you look kind of squint your eyes, it kind of looks like a Kanban board in a sense when you look at it. It's like there's things that are blockers to other things. There's things that the project manager wants that are constantly staying in the to-do section because nobody wants to touch those because they're not actually important. And then there's tickets that are ongoing and they're ongoing and they're ongoing and yeah, they're not getting finished. And then there's testing, but who likes testing? Just push to production. If our rocket ship fails midway through, we'll just build a new rocket ship. We did that. We didn't research at all. We had a rocket ship. We were going to another planet. We were like, okay, we got 75% through to the other planet. Our fuel lines broke. Did we plan for it? No. Does any startup plan for production outages? No. What did we do? We scrapped that and we started over. Like any good startup, VC money is flowing through the windows. For us, VC money is just free time, but what's more worthy than our time? Well, a lot of things, but yes. And agile processes promote a sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely. There was no funny slide there. It's a serious matter. We need to be keeping the factory going. Nothing funny about that. So continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. And yeah, there's when you have 500 space bugs attacking your factory, it's like if you have had like 17 project managers messaging you on Slack at the same time. Are you getting any work done? Maybe. If you are, is it good work? No. Then your factory starts to look like this. It's spaghetti all around. You have a function here, all of those blocks that are on the thing, you can think of as functions, all of the conveyor belts can be taught as data flow in your project. Do you know how to get from the top left corner to the bottom right corner? No. Does anybody? No. Why is that? Because of the project managers. So, is it your fault? Of course not. It's the project manager's fault. We didn't have enough sizes in our t-shirts when we were designing this sprint, so we didn't get it done in time. And this is what we came up with. So, continuous attempt at attention to technical excellence and good designs might enhance agility. Just might. The quote is that it enhances. It just might enhance. It doesn't. I'm not promising anything in this factory. It's a shit show. So, simplicity, it really is the art of maximizing the amount of work not done. Hold on. I promise I can read. Simplicity is the art of maximizing the amount of work not done, and simplicity is essential in our factory. If we had a well-oiled machine, it would be simple. Anybody can understand what this does, especially the CTO. Can anybody else? No. Does the CTO still say this is simple, intuitive? Yes. Does it burn all of the resources of the server? Also yes. Is it optimal? Next question. But did it get everything shipped? It did. That's the most important thing. So the best architectures, requirements, and designs emerge from self-organizing teams. When we left our developers on their devices to build a spaceship, this is what the first spaceship looked like. So giving free rein to self-organizing teams and developers might not be a good idea. Did it get us to the next deadline? Yes. Does it look like a phallic object? Also yes. Next question. At regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. So we have this guy that we sent to Gleba. In sprint planning, he said, yeah, it's a freebie, I can do it in a week. After being a couple of days at Gleba, yeah, my well-being is endangered. So reflecting on what you promised and what you actually delivered is important. So it really gives this energy approaching our software project. Then we have this guy. Remember our salesperson, our team manager? After 2 weeks or 1 week of being away, they came to our server and they were like, why isn't this finished? After 1 week of not doing shit, having a vacation for 1 week. And all we could say is, well, there was a couple of things going on, so yeah, that's what project managers are. But in the end, building a factory really is a lot like building software in a small scale startup. As you can see, we're already on page 3 here. So errors are all around. Do we have time to focus on errors? No. We are going fast, we are agile. Errors, like if it doesn't crash production, is it really an error or is it a warning? Did this crash production? Well, maybe. But did the project manager notice? No, because they were on fucking vacation, so. Then we have dealing with expectations. So after a week of being away from the server, our project manager was like, you guys know assembly, right? Like 6502 assembly? Like, yeah, right? Yeah, you guys know it. You're such good developers. Everybody knows assembly, right? So yeah, dealing with expectations is really a hard thing when you're building your startup or your factory. Then there's when you're a startup. You don't want to be scaling vertically. You don't want to write good software. If your Node.js application doesn't run as smoothly as you want, just deploy another next to it. VC money is flowing through our pockets. Who cares if our Azure bill is like $5,000 a day? Just build next to it and then build next to it again. Just like copy and paste all of the code and factory and deployments. Nobody cares. It's not gonna bite us in the ankle, right? Right? And also just building a factory and building software most of the time is just straight up not having a good time in general. So that was what our team was able to achieve in the last month. And that was Agile Factorio, and I'm really sorry. Thank you.